Hey everybody, on today's episode of the Sibling Soirée, we're sipping on a brunchy beverage by the Esrever besties, who are queens from Queens. Stick around for pairing time as we sample this melted gooey goodness of brie, the perfect complement for this soirée-approved sipper. You are invited.
The Sibling Soirée, get loose, come party. Know you had a long day, kick it, Munchies, never feel sorry. Hey, for living your best life, we gon' get just right. Sip fine wine, good dine, great vibes, all black beers on the rise, yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Lucinda.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome to the Sibling Soirée, a space where we sample and support Black-owned food and beverage companies.
That's right. Welcome back, first of all. Today we have a bottle for you, which is a sparkling white wine by Esrever.
Esrever. Yeah. Esrever is actually a brand that was started by three besties who lived in Queens.
From Queens.
Yeah.
We lived in Queens.
We did live in Queens.
I was born in Queens. We grew up in Queens for a while.
We did.
So yeah, another story that kind of hit home for us that we connected to.
Yeah. I think we end up finding a lot of similarities in some of these. That's the beauty about these experiences. But yeah, our parents bought their first home in Queens, so there's definitely an affinity there. So shout out to everybody from Queens.
Shout out to QB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a group of best friends who it started off as a joke. They were sitting around a table and they were just kind of, shooting a breeze and chopping it up a bit, and just said, what would it be like if we decided to start a wine company ourselves? And then all of a sudden it went from joking to serious.
Yeah. That's kind of how this channel started.
This is exactly
you know
how
what I
this
mean? Like
channel started.
Conversations and they just evolve into something else, and then you're like, wait, there's a good idea here.
Right.
Why don't we run with this?
We should take it and run with it.
And that, yeah.
Well, isn't that the difference, right? From people just kind of having thoughts and ideas to actually having success.
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
actually taking that move. So
100%.
Yeah, so it kind of started off as a joke and then it became serious. But they talk about the fact that it took them about 5 years.
It took them a while, right?
It took them like 5 years before they got to a place where they were actually ready to commit.
Yeah. Well, these things take time, right? It's like, people think, oh, I'm going to start this business. It's going to happen overnight. Like, that's just not how it works. Yeah. There are a lot of things that go into it, and you kind of have to do the research and you have to put in the time and you get there eventually. The key is like, don't give up, right?
Don't
because
give up.
your break might just be right around the corner,
Yeah.
so yeah, shout out to them for sticking it through and giving and bringing this brand to us.
Perseverance, right?
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen those memes that there's a person kind of picking at an ice pick,
right?
And it's like,
and
they keep going.
The out is right there,
and the outer part is right there, and
Oh.
they turn around.
Yeah.
So you gotta just stick to it, whatever it is. Keep on going. That's the public service announcement for the day. So they started this brand. They talk about their ups and downs, but once they finally were ready to commit, within 6 months, they already had the legal entity.
Look at that.
Within the next couple of months after that, they had the wine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, it's definitely, I think, an inspiration to us all.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, I think that we should try this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Well, cheers.
Cheers to perseverance. So it's a little bit sweeter.
It's sweet for me. So, I've said this before. I am a dry wine, wine time. I like all of it dry.
Right.
Like, but this is a little sweet for me. It has a good flavor. It's a little light also. I feel like you can drink. So if you can drink a lot of this and not get too sauce, right? The sauce level is
it's on the low. It's on a low sauce.
Yeah.
But in some ways that's a good thing, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like if you need to either take it easy or you're at an event where you need to compose yourself, like this is gonna work out really well for you.
It's an all night drinker.
Yeah. It has a good taste.
I think it tastes very good. So Esrever is actually a Chenin Blanc and Chardonnay mix, which is a great two grapes to mix because they kind of complement each other.
They do complement each other, yeah.
Chenin Blancs are usually a lighter wine.
Yeah.
A great summer sipper, even though we're kind of beyond summertime.
Right.
But it's really well known in South Africa. Actually, I was introduced to Chenin Blancs when I was in Cape
Right,
Town.
it is very South African wine, yeah.
Yeah.
But and the Chardonnay works well with it because that adds a little more cut.
Yeah.
And that's gonna pair well with your buttery stuff and like your heavier foods, right? So it's like it's kind of the middle ground where they kind of exactly. They work well together.
Yeah.
And it works well together here. It's just a little on the sweet side for me.
But let's be clear, it's not like Riesling Moscato
No,
sweet.
it's not like Moscato sweet.
Okay.
But like, again, as I always say, I have a dry palate. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's a little sweet. I think a lot of people would like this. A lot of people tend to gravitate towards sweeter wines.
Right.
And this will work really well for you. It is tasty. Just for me personally, it's sweet.
Well, it's funny because they tell this story about how they started off mixing wine, right?
That's right.
So actually, their first couple of wines came from the fact that they used to hang out at home and mix
wines, and that's how this conversation happened.
And a Pinot Grigio.
Yeah.
So I would almost say it's kind of in between.
It is probably
that's exactly
that. Yeah.
I mean, even though this is a different bottle,
right.
it's kind of in between in that way.
Yeah. But it's interesting because you get a sense of their journey, and like every winemaker is bringing something different to the table, right? Mm-hmm. And this is how they started. Right? They were mixing wines to find a flavor that they liked, and then they decided to do their own, and they applied this, right? So it's like. Other people are looking for these flavors. There's always going to be someone looking for a similar flavor, right? So like they started mixing these wines and they came up with blends, and I think that works really well for them because a lot of people are looking for a middle point between like a dry and a sweeter,
not too
right?
Sweet, not too dry.
And they're doing that. Yeah. They're doing it and they're doing it
well.
I
like it.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of my girlfriends who prefer sweeter wines are going to appreciate this. I almost feel like it's a good I'm trying to get away from the super sweet Moscato wine. Yeah. But it's not Sauvignon Blanc dry.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I get that.
So if you're a transitioner, this is a good transitioner.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I agree. So like I went through a phase where I was doing like Moscato and Rieslings and all that, and it was great and I loved it.
You work your way.
Yeah, and my palate just got drier over time. And I couldn't help where it was going. It just got drier, right? But this is a good transition from if you're used to very sweet wines and you want to experiment and step out of your box. This is not the super sweet wine, but it's a good leeway. Yeah, I think.
I like it. I like it. So I got this bottle at Happy Cork. They actually have a relationship with Happy Cork.
That's right.
So if you go onto their website, esrever.com, and you click order, you want to order it online, it actually takes you to the Happy Cork website. Nice. Happy Cork is located in Brooklyn. Shout out to Happy Cork.
Shout out to Happy Cork because we also get a lot of our bottles from them. So thank you.
Black owned.
Yes, thank you for stocking us. Yes.
Wine boutique. Yep. And when you go to their website, if you're specifically looking for black owned wines, you can actually, when you go to the search engine,
there's a whole section
just for black owned
awesome.
wines. Yeah. So
everyone should have that.
Super friendly. They deliver. You can pick it up. It was really easy. Actually, nice. My husband was coming from Brooklyn, so I just went online, ordered it, and did order for pickup.
Oh, okay. So you can put the order in online and then just pick it up.
Super easy.
Super convenient.
Super easy.
Yeah.
This bottle is not expensive at all. Okay. It's a $15 bottle.
Nice.
You can buy a couple of those.
Right.
Even if you're
and for bubbles, 15 for bubbles. That's really good.
That's not bad at all.
No.
It's not super bubbly, but I feel like I've burped a couple times.
Well, Gassy.
I mean,
this is why I don't drink a lot of bubbles because I feel like
wine.
it fills me up. But they're fun and they're celebratory and it's brunchy and all these things. It's brunchy.
It's a brunchy beverage.
It's a brunchy beverage. We're all about the alliteration, by the way. We are all about alliteration, right? It's a soiree salute, a brunchy beverage, a thirsty Thursday. All about the alliteration.
Why not? It's pairing time.
Pairing time.
Yes.
I love pairing time. Right.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Blessed bless.
And you are invited. So what are we pairing with today?
We are pairing it with brie.
Ooh.
Brie is such a good, yummy, creamy
cheese. One of my favorite cheeses.
Is it?
It is. Because I don't like a lot of the melty smeary cheeses. But brie is one that I love to smear on on a baguette, on a cracker, on it just and has a great taste.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. The thing about brie is it complements really well with a Chenin Blanc with the Chardonnays. The creaminess and the texture of that cheese. Remember, Chardonnays a good oaky shard has cream in it.
Right.
So it's really nice complimentary.
Right.
What I did was I kept it out for like an hour to bring it to room temperature.
Nice.
But just before I was getting ready to serve it, I popped it in the microwave for about 15-20 seconds.
That's actually a really good hack, right? Because normally like you might put it in the oven or something like that, but it'll take a lot longer.
Right.
So like pop it in the microwave because, I mean, it's a brie, it's a cheese, it's gonna be melty and it's gonna be great.
Yeah. I mean, I purposely didn't want to make a mess today, but if you really want to show it, if you microwave it for like 30 seconds and you cut into it,
gooey.
It gets
gooey,
nice
gooey,
like
gooey.
a nice little waterfall of cheese. But it
would
have been on the table.
Right. if you're hosting and you're ready to put out a brie, like get it nice and melty and then cut it in front of everyone and everyone will be like, oh, you can't resist. You can't resist when you see that.
It's like super soft.
Yeah.
And so honey also complements like anything sweet. So you can put preserves, you can put jelly even. Today I just put a little bit of honey on there just to give you a little extra sweetness.
Right.
Yeah. So why don't you talk about how you plated that?
So, okay, first of all, I love the plate. I'll put it in quotes because it's not a traditional plate, right? It's a tree stump. It's a bar from a tree stump, right? And it's really fun because it just adds like a design element to your plate.
Right.
But then, we always talk about the accents and the colorization, right? So we put some strawberries on top to add a little pop of color because that always works. Yeah. We have some thyme, and that's the tree, and like it kind of ties it together, and some toasted baguette. Right? And the honey, the drizzled honey, just kind of brings it all together.
It brings it all together.
It marries all of these things.
I mean, it's very pretty aesthetically. To be honest with you, I personally don't like toasty, crunchy things when I'm at parties because it just makes a mess.
It's not soiree friendly.
It's not soiree friendly.
Yeah, we talk about what's soiree approved and what's not.
And this is not soiree approved.
Crunchy,
it's crunchy.
Crunchy. Crunchy baguettes are not soiree approved.
No, they're not. But I think that baguette and brie go well together.
Very well.
You can use a French baguette, not super, crunchy. This is nice and soft. When I'm in the market, I kind of test it to see if it's still fresh. And then you can just kind of smear it on your...
Right? So this is how you test for good bread. Good fresh bread has a distinct crunch. When you press into it, it's just like... Oh, what's a good example? Have you ever seen that movie Ratatouille?
Yes.
Where the rat Yeah, they talk about it and like you have to hear it. It's like music. It's like music to your ears. You have to let the bread speak to you.
Oh. I think if you go to the market and you're sitting there talking about
you might get some looks.
It'll be a problem.
I've gotten some looks, but you know what? I don't care.
I don't care. I want fresh.
I don't even care.
Fresh bread. So shall we?
We shall.
Yes.
All right. Ha! That's my favorite.
It is. Got a little sass in it.
A little sauce. All right.
Did you know the Esrever besties were actually on a show recently called I Quit?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and that I Quit show is essentially about entrepreneurs, people who have decided to literally just quit everything, like stop what they're doing, quit their jobs. Some tapped into their retirement
follow
fund.
their dream to execute the business that they had in mind, right?
Follow your dream.
I love that. Follow your dreams.
I love that. And so we're still watching it, right?
Yeah. It's
so
good.
we don't know how it turns out, but I did learn on the show that Esrever is actually reversed backwards.
That's right. And I think that's so clever. That's clever for a name and all that. And they actually have a quote on their website, and it says that if you're having a terrible day, just reverse it, with Esrever.
Yeah.
Just flip it in reverse and have a glass of Esrever. I think it's a genius marketing concept.
It's all about the mindset.
Yeah, I think it's really, really smart and really cool. I dig these girls. I like their story. They're from Queens, like we are, and I'm into it. Yeah.
So it's not goodbye. It's simply see you real soon.
That's right. If you like what you saw today or you want to see anything else, please drop a comment below. Also hit those buttons, like and subscribe, and follow us on social media at the Sibling Soirée. So important. Don't miss out.
Until next time.
Cheers.
E and Lou, lovers of drinks and food, sharing that fleek review, helping you identify jewels, the gems and the places, something like the water in Oasis. Buy black, that's a great win. Circulate the dollar, that's what we call amazing. Sibling Soirée.